Okay, guys, we move on to the Dolphins and the Bills. I'm gonna go first on this one too, because this one, and the next game we'll talk about Bengals Ravens really pissed me off in a way. In a game where you're playing challenged because of the quarterback you had, the way those two teams lost the games really like personally pissed me off. Because if they lost because of their backups just not being good enough, that's one thing. But if they lost, especially the Dolphins one really pisses me off. Because I think this was more of a look. I love Mike McDaniel. I think what he's done was great, but the decision making and the play calling or the the efficiency of play calling, getting it to the quarterback quick enough was something that was very, very, very awful. In terms of decision making, you're down. I believe that they were only down three at this point, but it's third and 19 in their own 10, 15. And you have a sixth round pick or seventh round pick, Skylar Johnson, and you decide to drop back and actually go for that third and 19. It's insane to me. And they ended up intercepting it, and which led to a Bills touchdown. Plays like that, or in the fourth quarter, having to burn three timeouts. You know how important three timeouts are to extend the game? You have to burn all three timeouts because of play calling, because of not being able to get your play in time. So and getting and avoiding delay of game penalties. And on top of that, not just wasting three timeouts, but getting to the penultimate point, you're down three, you're at the 50-yard line. It's 4th and 1, very manageable 4th and 1. And what happens? You get a delay in the game to turn it into 4th and 6. Things like that, like you have a seventh round picky. Losing because the seventh round picky is not good enough is one thing, but losing because of that is just it's just so maddening. I don't know if maddening is a word, but it's so angering if you're a Miami Dolphins as how you lost. And Mike McDaniel, he's a very, very good coach, and he's done all very, very good with this Dolphins team, despite losing his quarterback and all that is very, very, very good. Have a third string seventh round pick rookie, and even if they had Teddy Bridgewater, I think it would have been they could have potentially won this game. But the way that they lost it should really keep them up at night, because because they battled. They played very, very well for having the seventh round rookie, and losing the way that they did, man, it's difficult. And with the Bills too, I'm gonna say, I've questioned the Bills throughout the entire season, and I really don't see any way this team reaches a Super Bowl. I think they're not Vikings frauds, but they've had injuries that slowed them down throughout the year, but they haven't really had that spark. They've allowed bad teams, not bad teams, but they've allowed teams that shouldn't be competing with them, especially in Buffalo, to be able to compete with them. And Miami, going back to the New England Patriots game, it took them two kickoff returns and two Josh Allen bailout deep passes to be able to scrape past the New England Patriots. Tua's first game back in coming to Buffalo no, was it his first game back? No, Tua's first game, the game after the Chargers and 49ers, while the Miami Dolphins were struggling, allowing them to keep up. Things like that, I just think this Buffalo Bills team has a lot of question marks, and I don't see them going very, very far now that they face Joe Burrow next.
Well, I think that, the Bills, they definitely played down to Skylar Thompson. The Bills still won the game and they should have. But the Dolphins, they made bad decisions after bad decisions. And then at the very end, the Singletary run for the first down, which a lot of people thought that it wasn't a first down. I doubt that would have made a difference, but either way, you know, we'll see
Oh
what happens
yeah,
now.
yeah, that
Yeah,
first down. I don't think it was
it
a first
wasn't
down
the first
either.
down.
It
And they
wasn't a
didn't
first
even
down.
take out the sticks to measure it.
It wasn't a first down. It pissed me off.
So the Vikings, the Dolphins, so the Vikings. Yeah, but the Dolphins, they could have got another chance at it with a minute left.
Yeah, but with the seventh round rookie. No thoughts on the game, real
I
quick, because we
mean,
gotta move on.
the Dolphins played the best they could with the way their team was with all the injuries, especially to their quarterback. Their coach made a
I don't
critical.
agree with that. I don't agree
You
with
don't think
that.
you don't agree with that? You think they
Not the
played
best
better?
that they could, because if they didn't make those stupid mistakes that I was outlining earlier, they could have done better. They could have won this game. But they didn't play that the best they could. The players performed the best they could. They put it all
That's
out on
true.
the field. They exceeded expectations, but if they were able to do the little things correct, make the basic decision, not show their inexperience, their coaching inexperience, then I think they could have won this game despite having a 7th-round rookie.
I feel like the Bills are just very complacent right now. It's
Yeah,
like they're
that's a good
okay
word.
with where they're at, and you can't play like that upcoming to play Cincinnati or even trying to go where you want to go in the playoffs. So they're gonna have to fix that this upcoming week.
All right.
Yeah, I feel like
Let-
we all expect more from the Bills.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Bengals Ravens. That's gonna be a tough conversation too. Look, Baltimore played their butts off, just like them. It was the division rivalry game. They played on the road. You know, Baltimore had a chance despite not having Lamar. I didn't think that they were able to get it done because I think just not having Tyler Huntley is just the deciding factor. Not having Lamar was going to be the deciding factor. You need Lamar to be able to go up against these top quarterbacks in the AFC, like Justin Herbert, like Trevor Lawrence, like Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. But they competed in this game, and it's really, I mean, when it comes down to it, in a game like that, in a playoff like that, when you're on the road, when you have a chance to go up 24-17 on the 1-yard line or 1 or 2-yard line, and you don't get in, and not only you don't get in, you fumble the ball, and they scoop it up and score the other way on the road. That's like the biggest momentum switching play I've ever seen. Like, it's so crazy the way that happened on the road, division rivalry, and the fact that you have your backup quarterback. You can't come back for that. The Ravens competed. John Harbaugh deserves a lot of credit for how the team went out and played. They played fantastic ball. Mark Andrews was great. Speaking of Mark Andrews, the run that he had to try to catch up to Sam Hubbard, that was crazy. I did not think he was that fast. But Mark Andrews made plays. Robinson made plays for them. Look, it's a hard way for them to lose because that's literally the game right there. You know, it's hard to come back from that. Even at the end, they had a chance to get in. Baltimore played their butts off. And speaking of complacency, Bengals showed a little bit of complacency too. They played a little bit down to their competition too. But you know, there is a little bit of an excuse with them because it is a division rivalry and all that. But
Yeah.
But you know, Baltimore really got to step up on the next level if they want to make the run back to the Super Bowl that they want to, because Kansas City is going to be there.
That's if what's it called? We're talking about Bengals or Baltimore?
Bengals.
Oh yeah, I mean Bengals. I mean they just lost another one of their offensive linemen. I forgot what it was, but I forgot who he was. But he just got injured again. So I mean they already lost Lyle Collins for this season, and now they lost another O lineman. It's gonna be the same thing as last year, man. Wait, other than that, I think the Ravens. This hurts more because they might not have Lamar anymore, and this hurts more because they had Tyler Huntley out there instead of maybe Lamar. Because we don't know. I honestly think that Lamar would have played if he had a contract. I honestly think that.
We'll never know. That's the $1 million question.
I mean,
Just because they didn't pay Lamar, they lost the game, basically. Because Tyler Huntley, I don't know what he was doing. They should have ran it with Gus.
Look, let's
His
be
name is
honest though.
Gus the Bus.
Let's be honest though. Besides those 2 critical mistakes, the interception he threw, I think it was on the first drive, I believe, which was a really bad interception. And then the fumble he had at the goal line, which honestly, you could say it was a coaching mistake too, because you saw what John Harbaugh said after the game. He wasn't supposed to go low. He wasn't supposed to go high. He was supposed to go low and power through as a quarterback power. You gotta communicate that to him, you know? Whenever you're calling the play to him, you gotta communicate that to him. He is your backup quarterback. You gotta be in his ear. Apart from those 2 critical mistakes, I thought he played really, really well for a backup quarterback.
For
He
backup
moved the ball
QB?
well up and down the field. He used his legs. He incorporated his legs. I thought he played decent well in the playoff pressure. I think Tyler Huntley is a very, very, very good backup quarterback.
Oh, he's an amazing backup
Yeah,
quarterback. There's
and
no
he
question about that.
allows them to play the same way that they play with Lamar because he does have the legs. He doesn't have Lamar's legs necessarily, but he allows them to,
some sort of mobility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Bengals, they just need to, get to second gear, kick it up a notch now that they're entering like the real playoffs because they're not playing backup quarterbacks anymore, unless they face
They
Brock
play the
Purdy in the
Jaguars
Super Bowl.
next. No, never mind.
They play
They
Bills
play the
next.
Bills next. Oh, that Bills
Yeah.
Bengals game is gonna be
That's
crazy.
gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
What we've all been expecting for. I'm just with the Ravens. I mean, you could say as much as Tyler Huntley failing to get the ball across the goal line, but they could have handed it off to J.K. Dobbins as well. I mean,
He was
they could
talking
have
about that
done.
after the game.
Yeah.
Oh,
it
he also
was-
said
He
Lamar.
also
If we had
dissed Tyler
Lamar, we
Huntley.
would have won.
Well, yeah, exactly. J.K. Dobbins was not happy with that, and I agree. Greg Roman could have called something else. Also, on the final drive, I believe the clock was stopped, and they still burned a timeout. It was a questionable decision. They would have had
Yeah, I remember
more
that.
time. Even at the end, I mean, the receiver could have caught the tip pass. I mean, it's very uncommon, but
Yeah, it's all
even
fine
at
margins.
but
Playoffs.
the Bengals, the injuries are stacking up. I mean, Joe Burrow is gonna have to go again with another banged up O line. They're gonna have to sustain drives, but this is what it comes with. This is the job you have to do in the playoffs. So we'll see what he does next week.
And for the Ravens, that's what having Lamar does for you. You can make a mistake or two, and you know that Lamar's going to have your back. Well, with the backup QB, you can only make so many mistakes. The interception,
Yeah.
sure, but that pick, I mean, the fumble, you can't have that. Lamar's not going to do that.
I don't think I can't think of one play that I know that was as momentum swinging as that. When it comes to it being a division rivalry game on the road, all the pressure, all the nerves being on the Cincinnati side because they can't lose to Tyler Huntley. You're about to go down 24-17, and then suddenly at the flip of a switch in the fourth quarter, you go up 24-17. Unbelievable. The crowd went wild. Cincinnati, the whole city went wild. Bad.
If I'm Lamar
Very,
Jackson,
very
though,
hard, very hard way for the Ravens to lose.
if I'm Lamar Jackson, though, during contract negotiation, I'm turning on my phone and just showing that video of the fumble.
All right, guys. Yeah. Thank you
From
for
me my
watching.
50 mil.